What's up guys, today I'm going to be talking about how good the Logitech G25 is for Forza. Now, I'm going to start off by explaining it. Like with any other wheel, you've got two paddles, a steering wheel. The one I've got comes with a shifter. You've got three pedals including a clutch, which not all wheels come from, but most decent wheels come with. You've got a directional pad above the shifter, and then you've got four buttons below the directional pad and other four buttons above the directional pad. It has sequential and manual shifting, though sequential doesn't work on Forza, at least on this wheel. You've got two buttons on the steering wheel, but that's it. A lot of steering wheels will have all the buttons on the wheel, but as you've got a shifter, it's nice to put some buttons there instead of having a Formula 1 looking wheel where like every single control is hard to reach all over the steering wheel. I can easily see what I'm pressing, know what I'm doing. I've got my essentials on the steering wheel. I don't have a physical handbrake, so I use one of them as a handbrake when I want to drift, and the other one's just a horn because that's the standard setting. Anyway, from what I've noticed, it all steers perfectly well. Being a something like 10-year-old wheel, the power steering is really not up to par with other products. You're going to obviously get a better experience out of a Fanatec or Thrustmaster of a more recent time. It's a big upgrade from those entry-level wheels you get, which have sort of elastic bands and 180-degree steering rotation. Now, this has got 900-degree. If you look, I can have more fun sort of doing big turns and stuff because there's more wheel rotation. It's not like steering a spaceship or something where you're going like 180 degrees in each direction. It just feels a bit unrealistic when you're doing that. But yeah, no, I quite enjoy using this product to play Forza. It's
turn around when it is safe to do so.
like with any sim rig, it took me some time to get used to it. I'm trying to think of something to say. Despite the fact it's so old, it still feels accurate. When I've got the steering straight in the middle, it still feels accurate despite the fact it's quite old. When I have the steering in the middle, it doesn't sort of go very slightly to one side. So if you're buying one of these second-hand, which they don't exist new, so I'm guessing basically every single one will be second-hand unless someone's kept one new, you should still have a great experience with it. I bought mine second-hand, had to go all the way to Reading to pick it up, but it's definitely worth it. I got a great deal on it, £50, and I got a solid sim rig for manual and automatic, depending on what you want to play on. Obviously, the power steering doesn't feel as good as other steering wheels, but I quite like it at least. I want to upgrade one day to maybe something like a Fanatec or something like a I don't know, maybe a newer Logitech, something like that. Anyway, there's much better wheels on the market than this one. I'll say that right now. But if you want a great deal, I can not recommend this wheel enough. Really cheap on the second-hand market and still great performance in Forza. As for racing and competitive play, sim rigs aren't really competitive compared to a controller. For drifting, for racing, for anything, they're just not really as competitive as a controller, because a controller you can react faster, you can control it better. Drifting's really hard. If I try to do a drift now, I mean, I'm sure that there are great people who drift on sim rig, but it is undoubtedly easy to drift on controller. I can drift on controller perfectly well, but sim rig, okay, that wasn't my best performance, but sim rig drifting is pretty hard. I think this car might be all-wheel drive, but yeah, no. Drifting's always going to be a hard thing on sim rig. I really wouldn't recommend this if your prime focus is drifting. Either get a high-end wheel with really good force feedback, or get a controller. Just to stick with your controller. Obviously never use a keyboard. Do not use a keyboard to play Forza. That is pretty crap. Even those analog keyboards, I've tried one. They're really not that good. I'm going to tell you this right now. Do not use an analog keyboard to play a racing game. While they might advertise this modular stuff, you've got about 2-3 millimeters of travel to work with. There's not really much space there for you to actually adjust your acceleration and steering. Anyway, guys, I think I'm going to finish this off with this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.